Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Turbo712 and welcome to the first edition of Spool Me Up. Oh man, I'm so excited, I can't wait. Anyway, what we're going to be doing is driving around in some modified cars, some highly modified, some slightly modified, but just your above average kind of cars. Nothing too deep, nothing too technical, just driving around, giving you some basic specs and having some fun and see what happens. So, for the first car, thought, why not do my own? So, we got a Mark 1 Mazda 3 MPS. MPS, I hear you say? Mazda 3 MPS? Right, MPS stands for Mazda Performance Special. When I say Performance Special, yeah, this little baby can fly for what it is. Let me tell you, when they come off the production line, I think firstly in 2006, it come off, it was the fastest car, front-wheel drive car of its class. Yeah, front-wheel drive, you say. I know, I thought the same, but it's alright, it's not bad. Anyway, the statistics that everybody wants to know. 260 horsepower, 380 Newton meters of torque, all going through the front wheels. I know. And today is probably not the best day to be reviewing it because it's wet and we're going to be wheel spinning for crazy, man. I'm telling y'all. But anyway, what else can I tell you about this car? The torque. The torque is a lot of torque for a front wheel drive car. It's limited in the first two gears, but once you get up to third gear, world's your oyster, so they say. And they do a Mazda 6 version of this car, which is four-wheel drive. And all I can say to Mr. Mazda is, why didn't you do this Mazda 3 in a four-wheel drive? Because it would have been an absolute beast. You managed to do it with the Mazda 323, which I used to have one of, and that was a hell of a car. Yeah, it was ugly, but man, that thing could shift. So, anyway, back to this one. We've got a 2.3 litre, 16 valve, turbocharged engine. I've known these cars to go up to around, sometimes above the 400 horsepower mark on standard internals. That's usually with a little bit of modification, as you might have guessed. The steps that usually go, you've got to help with the breathing mods on the Mark 1 as well as the Mark 2. Exhaust system, a bigger turbo. A lot of guys go for the meth injection as well, but apart from that, if you look after the car and treat her right, you'll get the same back. As far as tuning wise goes, I mean ECU side of things, you're better off. A lot of guys go for a cob access port, which you can, I'll go into a bit further later on, but you can basically remap your ECU from within, kind of within the car. You have to get a specialist help. And also VersaTune as well, which is quite popular amongst the Mazda 3 community. Should I say the MPS? Okay then, so this 3 was talking about the ECU tuning and all that. This Mazda 3 happens to be running the cob access port, the version 3. The difference, pros and cons between the access port version 3 and the VersaTune. The access port is resellable, so you can unlock it from your car once you've finished tuning with it, and you can resell it. And these things sell for more than half of their value still in today's market. The VersaTune, once it's on your car, it's locked to your car. I suppose the only downside with the access port is that once you've finished tuning it, if you go to sell it on, then obviously you're going to have to return your car back to standard, because ECU will go back to your standard readings. So if you've got upgrade this, upgrade that, running the engine, you're going to be running rich, you're going to be running lean or whatever, and you're probably getting close to detonation. This car personally was tuned via what's called an E-Tune by the one and only Justin Heath, who's a guru amongst the Mazda community for tuning. Man, he gets the car spot on, trust me. So, excuse me, just had to overtake a little bit there. you ever find yourself buying an MPS and you want to upgrade stuff, stay away from rolling roads, because no disrespect to anybody who runs a rolling road, but the MPS is quite a fickle car. It's not a very popular car in this country, and not a lot of people know how to deal with them. So if you ever come across, as I said, yourself getting an MPS, you need to get yourself onto the Mazda forums and find a guy called Justin Heath, goes by the name of DJ JUT. And no, he hasn't paid me for this, but he is worth a mention because he's done wonders for me and helped me out with this car from day one. Quality goes, and everything else with this car is it's alright. It's alright inside. The interior is nice. I like the seats, they're nice. Suspension is okay. It's a little bit different from the aero version of this car, which I did forget to mention, however. But it's not bad. It's not bad. But I will say this: under high-speed cornering and high-speed braking, she does tend to wobble. She's got quite a bit of body roll in there. So one thing I would say is probably get the aero suspension for it, and also a rear anti-roll bar, because man, they do help a lot. They'll stiffen her up and then she'll be good to go, man, around some roundabouts and all that. But yeah, and this does run with a limited slip diff as well. I wouldn't say it's the greatest thing in the world, but yeah, it does run. Yeah, in the wet, forget it. In the dry, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. All in all, it's a tidy little motor. If you want something different from like your average VXR, talk about your Mark 1 VXR, or your Focus STs, or your Renaults, this is definitely the motor to go for. She is quick, as I said. Top speed is supposed to be, and I say it's supposed to be limited to 155, but thanks to a friend for private airfield, I know that she does do a little bit more. So that's about it for now. And just to summarize the MPS, if you're after something different, something a little bit special, something that you don't see every day, the Mazda 3 MPS is definitely the way to go. That's if you want a front wheel drive car with a lot of power. It will leave a Honda Civic Type R, it will leave a VXR, it will leave an ST in all the tyre smoke. Mazda 3 is the way to go. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. So anyway, I hope you liked the video. It was my first one, so if it's a bit raw, you have to excuse me. They'll only get better. So hopefully guys, if you like it, subscribe down below. If you don't like it, still subscribe down below. Anyway, I'm Turbo712. I'll catch you later.